DSC have been very generous in their support for bringing greater advocacy efforts into what is so important to our communities and our approach and involvement in sustainable utilization of natural resources.
As we're all aware, right now our livelihood and way of life as hunters and conservationists is under incredible attack. Baseless attack, but incredible attack nonetheless. And it is extremely important as we move forward into this very hostile environment that we have organizations like Dallas Safari Club that are pushing forward with an invaluable advocacy program to fight these battles.
It's become increasingly difficult for us to export trophies into countries like the United States. And it's people like Dallas Safari Club that help and fight for us to maintain the imports of these animals that are so crucial to keep them alive in Africa.
Whether we like it or not, politics and politicians are involved in wildlife management, and they really are making decisions that they think are right. Habitat loss is the #1 threat. It's common knowledge, but are they doing anything to protect habitat? No, we're not, and that's what's disappointing. They're going after the low-hanging fruit and persecuting hunters.
Nothing could be further from the truth. You know this, and I know this, but the anti-hunting industry is also a massively profitable industry. Here is a word, and in fact, a clear warning for the anti-hunting brigade. We are going to meet you legally. We are going to meet you in any arena where you happen to be active, and we are going to speak truth to lies, because we are the ones really with the absolute cemented, vested interests in seeing that wild places remain wild and that wildlife is able to survive on a sustainable basis.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Corey Mason.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to DSC's 40th anniversary Saturday night event. Tonight will be a very special evening shared with old friends and new. I want to thank each of you for being here tonight and for your continued support for the mission of DSC. The theme for our Thursday and Friday nights events focused on conservation and education, 2 of the 3 tenets of the DSC's mission. The theme for this evening's night will highlight the 3rd and what has become the most critical part of our mission, advocacy. The battles we are engaged in today to protect our hunting heritage were unimaginable 40 years ago. The anti-hunting movement, supported by a complicit mainstream media, have created an environment where legislators and activist judges seek to put an end to our hunting heritage. We can no longer take a passive or defensive stand in the fight before us. It is time we go on the offensive, and our weapon in this fight will be advocacy. The single greatest threat to international hunting will be the inability to import legally taken sport-hunted trophies. Let me repeat that. The single greatest threat to international hunting will be the prohibition to import legally taken trophies. Currently, proposed legislation in both the U.S. and United Kingdom would, if passed, prohibit the hunter's ability to import a growing list of legally taken species. And no hunting destination in the world would be more affected than the continent of Africa. Tonight's speaker is well qualified to address the importance of advocacy and how it will be used to win the fight. Michael Angelitis is a 3rd-generation Tanzanian professional hunter and second-generation safari operator. He is the managing director and a professional hunter for McCollum Safaris, one of Tanzania's most respected safari operations. Throughout his career, Michael has been an active advocate for regulated and sustainable hunting, both in his home country of Tanzania and around the world. Michael serves as the president of the African Professional Hunters Association, as well as Secretary General of the Tanzania Hunting Operators Association. We are also very proud that Michael currently serves on the DSC board, where his expertise and insights are invaluable to this organization. It is my great pleasure to introduce Mr. Michael Angelitis.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world's greatest gathering of hunters and conservationists on Earth, the Dallas Safari Club Convention. It is my tremendous honor to stand before you on this historic evening, the 40th anniversary of the Dallas Safari Club. And I deeply appreciate the opportunity to address you this evening. I am just one of hundreds of professional hunters and guides or outfitters who look forward to these 4 wonderful days in Dallas each year. We come from different continents, countries, provinces, and states, but we all come to the Dallas Safari Club Convention because we believe this organization fights for us, our livelihoods, and our combined and continued ability to enjoy our time-honored hunting tradition. And I need not stress to those of you gathered here tonight that our hunting tradition is under greater threat today than at any point in history. A wide array of opponents are aligned against us. They come in many forms, but they share a common and clearly stated goal: to end hunting in every form, in every destination, for all time. And they are encouraged as never before. Political shifts in the United States are now mirroring other countries in their disdain for hunting. And this threat is clearly seen in the ferocity of the renewed assaults which we are facing today. Animal rights groups operating in every corner of the globe have increased their long-standing efforts to erase hunting from our future. They have weaponized the power and instant impact of social media to create and spread false narratives based on emotion rather than science. They seek to influence the younger generation who are, or soon will be, of voting age. Their traditional tactics and carefully created propaganda uses hunting and poaching interchangeably, and it continues to spread that anti-hunting gospel to younger people who depend on the internet and celebrity influence to form their opinions on a world they are increasingly out of touch with. Their numbers are larger than ours. They are better staffed, and they have financial war chests, overflowing and ready to fund their clearly stated end game. We have seen their corrupt financial influence on full display at CITES and IUCN, where cash is traded for votes from countries who have become addicted to the financial windfall associated with selling out conservation for currency. The traditional animal rights organizations are today strengthened by the support of activist judges and agenda-driven politicians who pander to urban voters. Sadly, the majority of these people are too far removed from even the most basic understanding of the critical role that conservation through hunting plays in the protection of the world's wildlife that they claim to be protecting. The primary weapon of the antis in the quest to end hunting will be through legislation. The last few years, they have delivered several harmful legislative actions in North America, such as the grizzly bear ban in British Columbia, and the shutdown of Yellowstone ecosystem grizzly hunts by an activist federal judge. There are also bills that have been introduced that fly in the face of science-based wildlife conservation and healthy game populations, aimed at ending black bear hunting in California and New Jersey. Africa continues to be the primary battleground for the anti-hunting mob. Congressman Grijalva introduced the infamous Cecil Bill to ban the importation of elephant and lion taken in Tanzania, Zimbabwe, and Zambia, and challenges the purpose and function of the Endangered Species Act. The Humane Society sued the US Fish and Wildlife Service in November to uplist the African leopard to endangered status. Recent IUCN uplistings changed the African forest elephant to critically endangered and the African savanna elephant to endangered. Finally came the uplisting of all giraffe to Appendix 2 at the last CITES Conference of the Parties. Certainly, there are regional examples where such protection would be supported by hunters, yet blanket uplistings are extremely dangerous as they do not take into account the areas and countries where these species are not declining in numbers, but in fact support populations that are thriving and expanding in numbers. However, the most insidious threat to our international big game hunting is, and will continue to be, legislation crafted to end the importation of legally hunted game into the United States and other global destinations. For example, in the UK, anti-hunting importation legislation is currently under review in Parliament. Here in the US, the states of California, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Florida have all proposed anti-importation legislation. It is worth knowing that the United States represents over 80% of the total hunting and tourism revenue, to many countries holding the world's wildlife. The United States is also the largest importer of animal trophies. The US imports 10 times more trophies than China, the world's second largest trophy importer. In fact, the US in many cases serves as a benchmark by which other countries follow, including the UK, European Union, and Canada. Please hear, and more importantly, believe what I'm about to tell you. The creation of the importation ban strategy is the primary weapon the anti-hunting movement intends to use to bring about their catastrophic agenda. And if they are successful, it will be the end of international hunting, the end of DSC, and the end of conservation efforts in many, if not all, remote hunting concessions, which of course we all understand means the end of the world's wildlife that they claim to protect. They are not hiding their agenda. They are screaming it. Go hunt an elephant, an argali, an ibex, even a zebra. Shoot as many as you like, but as you will never, ever be allowed to bring them home. I have tried to paint a clear picture of our opponents and their strategy. They aim to take from us our hunting heritage and deny future generations the opportunity to experience our wildlife and the natural world. And most tragically, their efforts will result in the demise of conservation through hunting, which we are all blessed to experience and participate in. We're not fighting anti-hunters. We are fighting anti-conservationists. But as history has taught us, epic battles must have opposing armies. My friends, by being here tonight, you have already joined the ranks of the international hunting community's greatest hope in the battles being waged and of those to come. And I firmly believe no organization is better prepared to wage and to win this fight than DSC. Our weapon will be advocacy. DSC has developed a strategic plan to address these attacks, and your support will allow this plan to take action. DSC already has a well-established conservation and education footprint, but advocacy has received too little attention until now. So DSC is currently establishing a multifaceted government affairs department, beginning with a government affairs director, and that hire will be made soon. Following that, and the successes that will come, DSC will expand to address further needs like management authority expertise and possibly litigation counsel. They will continue to strengthen the relationships DSC has built with international officials and also with our sportsman-friendly congressmen in Washington, D.C., several of whom are here with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the entire hunting world is looking to DSC to spearhead our combined fight to defend hunting. That is a reality I constantly hear from my colleagues in Africa, and one that is repeated by my brothers and sisters around the world who are passionate about conservation and who depend on a thriving hunting industry for their livelihood. The creation and the growth of the DSC Advocacy Department provides us with a weapon to turn the tide of the battle that we must now engage in. But you and I must provide the financial ammunition that makes that weapon operational. I am speaking to a room full of the world's most dedicated sportsmen and women. Our common passion for the adventure of the hunt for the world's wildlife and the conservation of this precious resource is more than a part of what we are. It is, in fact, who we are. I have flown halfway around the world, not just to attend the convention, but far more importantly, to make the case tonight for immediate support and of the continued DSC advocacy work, including the new Government Affairs Office. Which brings us to this moment of truth. In the center of your table is a box that holds donation cards offering a variety of tax-deductible funding options. In 15 minutes, these boxes will be collected, and their contents will, I pray, represent to the best of your ability, your commitment and financial support to the critical growth of the DSC advocacy mission. The fight for the future is now. Before you is a golden opportunity to support our organization and fund a dedicated advocacy department that is committed, capable, and utterly focused on taking the fight to our opponents. Please remember why we are here tonight. We are here to raise money. Your generosity now and later in this evening's auctions will sound the battle cry heard loud and clear around the world. Thank you, and God bless you all.